What if we take it up a level? What if we take it up a notch in the cuteness department? I don't know if I'm getting too carried away here, but we're not going to look at that today. Hello and welcome to the Faded Wildflower Crochet. My name is Rachel, and today is a very special edition of Will It Ami, which is a series on my channel where we test out different types of yarn and see if they work for amigurumi. The reason why today is a special edition is because I am doing a collab with Shannon of Shannon Talks Yarn, where we are going to be testing out the same type of yarn and making two very different projects. So the yarn in question is this yarn right here, which is Premier's Just Yarn Plush. And I saw this at the Dollar Tree and immediately thought of Shannon because she had talked about it on her channel. I sent her a picture and I was like, look what you influenced me to buy. And she came up with this awesome idea of her trying it on her channel and making a wearable, and me trying it on my channel and making an amigurumi. So we can kind of see how versatile this yarn could be. So if you don't already know Shannon, of course, I will have her video linked down below. So after you watch this one, you can check out her video. Her channel is full of all different types of videos where she talks yarn. She talks about not only different types of yarn, but she also gives these really great little pep talks of like, maybe you're burnt out on crochet or maybe your gift got rejected. She's got all of these great videos where she talks you through these different things about yarn. So again, if you are not already subscribed to her, go over, subscribe to her, and watch her video after you watch this one, of course. And if you're here from Shannon's video, hi, hello, I hope you like it over here. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get a closer look at this yarn. Okay, here is what the yarn looks like. I did get it in all of the colors that I could find it in, and I actually got two of the brown. And I just love the way these colors go together. They look so beautiful, very autumnal. And this yarn, I did look up beforehand, and it is one of those that you cannot find on the Premier website. It seems to be just one of those yarns you kind of have to stumble on when you go to the Dollar Tree, or at least that's what I found as I was looking online. You can see it on the Dollar Tree website, but it says only available in stores. So it seems like similar to the Dream Chenille that I tried out. It's just kind of one of those yarns you have to stumble upon. So that's kind of unfortunate if you do end up falling in love with it, that you can only find it at stores and only sort of whenever they have it available, because that's just how Dollar Tree works. But, you know, if you do happen upon this yarn, we're going to see if it is worth your buy, if it's worth making amigurumi with. And I do not have a pattern for today's video, but I actually want to make something similar to this little fox and instead make a little teddy bear with this color, and then have these colors be the sweater portion. So I am just going to be freehanding it today. I'm not working from a pattern. That may end up kind of coming back to bite me in the butt. We will see. Before we get started, let's go ahead and look to see what these colors are called and all the details. So each one of these is 106 yards. It is a size 4 medium. Although I feel like it looks a little thinner than a size 4, in my opinion. I do feel like Premier is one of those companies where they always say they're a size bigger than they actually are. I'm not really sure what's up with that. It does say to use a 4mm crochet hook, which of course we will use smaller for amigurumi. This color is called Cocoa. This is Squash. That's a cute name. This is Night Sky. Love that. Berry. And Birch. So I love all of the names for these yarns. They're really nice. They're definitely leaning into those like cozy fall vibes, I feel like. So let's go ahead and get started making a little teddy bear in a sweater. I'm so excited to see how this turns out. Okay, first impression so far, I think this is as wide as I'm going to make the little bear's head. And my impression so far is that this is pretty easy to work with. It reminds me a lot of the Dream Chenille, which is also a Premier yarn that you can get at the Dollar Tree. I already did a review of it. It is a fur yarn, so you're not going to be able to see your stitches very well. You probably saw in the clips of me having to like stick my hook in to feel the stitches, because that's just how it is with a fur yarn. You're going to have to kind of feel for your stitches. And it's not the easiest thing in the world, but I think once you get used to it, It's just one of those things that you have to deal with if you're dealing with a fluffy yarn, is just being able to feel for your stitches instead of being able to see your stitches. But I will say that this yarn is not snagging on my hook at all. It's gliding nicely. It is easy to get your tension right. So far, so good on all of that. Now, something that I have discovered with fluffy yarn. Now, before I started this channel, I never really worked with fluffy yarn. I'd maybe worked with it once or twice here and there. But since starting this channel, I have reviewed it and then kind of fallen in love with it. And something that I have discovered with all the fur yarns that I've tried so far is that the right side does not look as good as the wrong side. I know it might be a little bit hard to tell on camera, but the wrong side is just a lot fluffier. The texture's a lot nicer. On this side, it almost looks and feels a bit squished. Now, this is really only going to apply if you're working in rounds like you do with amigurumi. If you're working with a flat object like a garment, a scarf, a shawl, whatever, it's not going to apply if you're working in rows, is what I'm trying to say. Now, with rounds, though, the wrong side in this case is always going to look a lot better than the right side. I'm not really sure why that is. That's just kind of how the yarn works up. So what I've been doing lately when I work with fluffy yarns is just to crochet the pieces normal and then just flip it wrong side out and go ahead and put my eyes in that way and just have a wrong side out facing plushie. And it really doesn't make any difference because you can't see your stitches anyway, and the texture is just a lot nicer. And for some reason, my camera does not want to focus on this yarn. I don't know if it's the color or the texture, but it's like, no, we're not going to look at that today. Yeah, I think that is a kind of a tip that I didn't know when I was first starting out with fluffy yarns, is that you may want to flip them right side out or wrong side out, I suppose. So we're going to continue on with this. Like I said, pretty easy so far. I am using a 3.25 millimeter crochet hook. It's my clover hook and it's working beautifully. So yeah, we're going to continue on with our little bear and I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. So as you guys are watching this, it's already November. But as I'm filming it, it is still October and Halloween hasn't happened yet. So I'm curious, how did you celebrate Halloween this year? And do you still dress up? I have not dressed up in a long time, unfortunately. I used to love dressing up. It was like one of my favorite things to do. Even in college, we would always all get dressed up and go to parties or whatever. And I probably haven't dressed up for Halloween since then. But I kind of miss it. And I thought about doing some sort of costume for this channel, but I just didn't get it together in time. Unfortunately, I was sick last week and it kind of threw everything off. But if you dressed up for Halloween, let me know what you were, or just let me know how you celebrated in general. I think we're just going to do like a trunk or treats kind of a thing and then come home and watch a movie and eat candy, because a lot of neighborhoods around here just don't really do much trick-or-treating. Like only a few houses in our neighborhood even do trick-or-treating anymore. And so I think we're just going to do a little trunk or treats moment. They'll be happy enough and get their candy, watch a movie. I don't know what we're going to watch because I feel like we've watched all the good Halloween movies so far. So let me know how you guys celebrated Halloween this year. And are you sad like me that Halloween is over? I just feel like the weeks between Halloween and Thanksgiving are kind of this weird space where I'm like, I'm not really sure what I should be doing. Is it still okay to go to pumpkin patches? Like, do I still leave my Halloween decorations out? Which I usually do. I don't do that much Halloween decorations. We just have our little pumpkin girl on the porch, and then we have a few things around the house. And I usually just leave it all out until it's time to decorate for Christmas. So that's what we're going to do. But let me know what you guys get up to during this time of the year. I do feel like I'm like gearing up for Christmas, but I'm just not there yet. I'm enjoying the fall time, which is why I'm happy that these yarn colors are such pretty fall colors. It feels like we can still celebrate fall for a little bit longer. So anyways, I'm going to keep working on this guy and probably go outside in a minute. You know, I can't say the word or Lily will freak out, but yeah, I'm loving this so far and I'm going to continue on. Okay, as you saw, I finished the little head. I thought maybe going to a different angle, I would be able to get my camera to focus, but for some reason it is not wanting to focus on this yarn. But it is so cute. I'm loving it so far. I'm going to wait and do the nose and the ears till after I do the body portion of it. But I am loving it, you guys. I really feel very similarly about this yarn than I do of the Dream Chenille. In fact, I kind of want to do a video comparing this yarn with the Dream Chenille, also with the Teddy, I think that it's called. I got some of that at the Dollar Tree as well, all Premier brand fluffy yarns. So I may do a video comparing all three of them. I might do that for my Patreon, my next Patreon video. So stay tuned to decide what I end up doing. But I do feel very similarly about this yarn that I did to the Dream Chenille. It is a fluffy yarn. You aren't going to be able to see your stitches that well, but the end result is just so fluffy and cute. And it's surprisingly easy to work with in terms of it not snagging. And we will have to see how it does with sewing. The Dream Chenille was great for sewing, so I really hope that this one is as well. I hope that it doesn't end up breaking, because sometimes these types of yarns can break as you're sewing with them. But so far, so good. I'm really happy with this yarn. And again, I know you guys like it when I have struggles, but this seems to not be the case today. So we are going to continue on. I am going to make it similar to this little fox here and make the little feet and the little sweater next. But first, I'm going to go have some lunch and then go out on the porch and enjoy the fall-ish day. It's actually going to be kind of warm today, but windy. So the leaves are kind of falling out there as we speak. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. So I did finish the little legs and the sweater, and look at all of these ends since I flipped it inside out. That is one of the things, because usually you can just kind of hide all of these ends on the inside, but when you flip it inside out, they're all going to be on the outside. So I am just going to have to weave those all back into the middle. But this is what it's looking like so far. It is so cute. And again, I wish I had more to say about this yarn other than, like, I just really like it. It's so good. It's so easy to work with. So fluffy and soft. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too windy for me to be working on the porch today. Quite unfortunate. It's winds up to like 30 miles an hour, which, you know, for here is not that bad. Have I ever talked about where I'm from on this channel before? I don't think that I have. I know I have on the Patreon. So if you are on the Patreon, then don't give it away. But can you guys guess where I'm from just based on my accent? I'm curious. I feel like I don't really have an accent, but sometimes it comes out. So I'm wondering if you guys can guess where I'm from. But anyways, I am going to do the little arms, and I actually think I'm going to go ahead and sew in all of these ends and then sew this together. And then we will do the arms and then the little ears and nose, and then we'll be done. This is going so quickly and so well. And again, can you see your stitches? No, it's mostly just vibes. You mostly just have to go with it. Try to figure it out as you go. But, you know, if you're kind of used to that, if you've worked with fluffy yarns before, this is, for a fluffy yarn, a really easy one. So let's go ahead and sew this together, and let's hope that the sewing is easy. Okay, here is what he's looking like so far. I feel like the nose is a little bit crooked. That's okay. I am in love with it so far, and it's already cute, but what if we take it up a level? What if we take it up a notch in the cuteness department? What if we make it even cuter and add a little hat? I feel like it would look so cute to make a little hat and then have his ears coming up above his hat. Wouldn't that be so adorable? I think I'm going to make it in this red color right here because I'm kind of obsessed with this color, you guys. Look how beautiful that is. And yes, it has lily hair on it. We're just rolling with it. I think this would be so cute as the little hat. And then maybe even we can make him a little scarf too. I don't know if I'm getting too carried away here, but I think a hat and a scarf could be just like the perfect additions to make him just extra super cute. So I'm definitely going to make the hat and then we'll see how we feel afterwards if I want to make a scarf too. I'm just having so much fun with this little project. I was really worried that it was a mistake for me to just be freehanding this and to not have a pattern to be working from since it's, a fluffy yarn that you can't see your stitches as much, but we're rolling with it. I think it's looking really good. I'm going to go ahead and start on the hat and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I have the little bear right here. I'm not showing you him. I did finish his hat and his ears, but I am going to give him a little scarf. I think I'm going to make it in this yellow color, the squash color, because I think that'll be really cute. But it is almost time for me to go pick up my daughter from school. So I'm going to work on it a little bit here and then work on it in the car line. And then I will show you the reveal of this little bear. And then come back tomorrow for my final thoughts on this yarn. I feel like you probably know my thoughts for the most part on this yarn already, but I can't wait to show you what this bear looks like. And I cannot wait to see what Shannon makes. I feel like it's going to be very inspiring to me because while I'm primarily a amigurumi maker, when the weather gets colder, I do like to get into making hats and scarves and that kind of thing. And actually, a little teaser, I am working on my very first ever crocheted cardigan for a video coming up. So I am wanting to just kind of dip my toes in the water of making wearables. And so I feel like Shannon's video is probably going to be really inspiring so I can know what to do with the rest of this yarn that I have left. So anyways, I'm going to finish making this scarf, do the final reveal, and then we'll check in tomorrow. Okay, here he is. Our little bear is all done. And I think he turned out so adorable. He's definitely giving Paddington Bear vibes, but I feel like he needs his own unique name. So if you have some suggestions, please leave them in the comments. So now I'm going to talk about a few different categories of this yarn and talk about whether I give that a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or a sideways thumb. So the first category is this easy to work with? Now, if this were just me giving this a rating, I would give it a thumbs up immediately. But I'm thinking about it in terms of brand new crocheters, and it is quite hard to see your stitches. If you are new to crochet, I definitely wouldn't suggest this yarn. But if you're wanting to get into a fur yarn, I would say that this would be a good one to start with because it is so easy to work with in terms of it just gliding nicely on your hook. It doesn't break when you're trying to sew with it. It really doesn't shed that badly either. So I am going to go ahead and give this a sideways thumbs up because it is hard to see your stitches, but really otherwise it's a thumbs up from me. Now let's talk about the price. I mean, at $125 a skein, you really can't beat that, but you also get quite a bit for that price. I bought 2 of the brown skeins just because I knew I would be using the most of that color, and I didn't even finish one. So I would definitely give this category a thumbs up. Now let's talk about the colors that this yarn comes in. Now these are the colors that they had at my Dollar Tree. I bought all of the colors they had available. I don't know whether it comes in other colors, but as far as these colors are concerned, I love each one individually. And then I also love them together. So this is definitely getting a thumbs up from me. So let's talk about the texture of this yarn. And I mean, the finished product that you make with this yarn is so soft, so cozy, so irresistible. Both of my daughters are actively fighting over who gets this plushie. So I can definitely say whatever you make with this will be a hit with kids. So this is definitely getting a thumbs up from me. So let's talk about the availability of this yarn. Now, unfortunately, this yarn cannot be found anywhere online, at least not that I could find. Now, Premier does have a yarn called Very Plush, which I'm assuming is a thicker version of this yarn. If you guys want me to try that one out, let me know. But unfortunately, it seems like the only place that you can find this yarn is at the Dollar Tree. And you guys know if you shop at Dollar Tree that you kind of just have to cross your fingers and hope that they're going to have the yarn you want when you go in. So for that, this is getting a thumbs down in this category from me. So in the end, will Premier Plush Yarn Ami? For sure. And I will definitely be repurchasing this yarn. But first, you have to let me know what I should make with the rest of the yarn that I have left over. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. You'll have to let me know what you thought about today's video, and be sure to go check out Shannon's video if you haven't already. If you've made it to the end, please let me know what were you working on as you watched this video. If you did like today's video, be sure to hit the like button. You can subscribe, stick around, let me know what other kind of videos you want to see next. You can follow me on Instagram. You can check out my Etsy shop. You can join my Patreon, where I just posted a video tutorial of how to make these cute little worms. And I made a 24-hour vlog seeing how many worms I could make in 24 hours, which I think was a really fun video, if I do say so myself. Thank you again so much for watching and for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you next time.